Have you ever opened a DBT project for the first time and thought, what are all these folders? Models, macros, snapshots, seeds. It looks confusing, right? So, but here's the truth. Once you understand the project structure, learning DBT becomes almost effortless. In this video, I will explain every important folder in a DBT project in the simplest way possible. So by the end of this video, you will know exactly where everything belongs and why it exists. So this video will be on DBT project. Let me write the heading. So in this video we will see about DBT project. Okay, so let's get started. Think of a DBT project like a house. DBT project जो है ये एक घर की तरह है हमारे लिए. एक बड़ा सा घर है ये हमारा. Okay, so it is a house. Okay, every room has a purpose. यहाँ पे छोटे छोटे रूम हैं. If you know what each room is for, you will never get lost. Let's start with the most important folder, the models folder. Okay, so this is the heart of your DBT project. Every SQL transformation you write usually lives here. Whether you were cleaning raw data, joining tables, or building report models, this is where the magic happens. Okay, so every SQL transformation you write usually lives here. We are in the DBT folder. Next we have the seeds folder. Okay. Imagine someone gives you a small Excel or CSV file like a country list, product categories, or lookup table. Instead of manually loading it into your data warehouse, you simply place it inside the seeds folder and DBT can load it for you. Simple and efficient. अगर आपको कोई भी एक्सेल या फिर CSV फाइल दे रहा है तो आप उसको सीड फोल्डर में रख दोगे. ओके, नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट स्नैपशॉट्स. Suppose an employee's salary changes over time or a customer's address get updated. Normally you would lose the old value. Snapshots allow DBT to preserve history. So you can see exactly what changed and when it changed. Now comes one of my favorite folder after snapshot, that is macros, but snapshot is for preserving the history. Alright, so if you want to preserve history, then go for snapshots. Snapshots allow DBT to preserve history. So this is for snapshot, and the next one is macros. Okay, so have you ever copied the same SQL logic into multiple models? Instead of repeating yourself, you can write that logic once inside a macro and reuse it everywhere. Less code, cleaner projects, happier data engineers. Alright, so macro is a reusable code. Okay, you just write that logic once inside a macro and reuse it everywhere. you can write a logic once inside a macro and reuse it everywhere. After macro, next is the test folders. So next is the test folders. Just because your SQL runs successfully doesn't mean your data is correct. DBT lets you automatically check the things like, are there any null values? Are IDs unique? Do relationships between table exist? Think of test as a quality check before your data reaches dashboards. Okay, so what does test folder do is, test folder will automatically check, like DBT lets you automatically check things like, are there any null values? Okay, are IDs unique? Okay, do relationships between tables exist? So test folder will let you do all these things. Okay, now let's look at the analysis folder. Okay, so this is where you can keep one of SQL queries or exploratory analysis that you don't want to include in your production models. So it's useful for experiments without cluttering your main project. Okay, so what analysis folder will do? This is something where you can keep one of SQL queries. Okay, so it's useful for experiments without cluttering your main project. Okay, so finally there is one file you will use in almost every project, and that one is dbt project.yml. So this is the brain of your dbt project. Like dbt model is the heart of your dbt project, वैसे ही dbt project जो है ये आपके brain है. It tells dbt where your models are, which folders to use, materialization settings, configurations, and much more. Without this file, dbt wouldn't know how your project is organized. So if we put everything together, models transform data, seeds load small static datasets, snapshots preserve history, macros help you reuse SQL, test validate your data, analysis store exploratory queries, and dbt project.yml that will controls the entire project. Okay, so what does dbt project.yml is? It is the brain. It is brain of your dbt project. Okay, so what does it do is it tells dbt where your models are, which folders to use, materializations, settings, configurations, and so on, many more things. Okay, so अगर हम अब इन सारी चीज़ों को एक साथ देखें, एक छोटी सी नोट्स की तरह अगर मैं आपको बना के दूँ तो वो कुछ इस तरह से होगा. Just give me a second. Let's make a table so you guys can remember it easily. This is our dbt full package. All right, so first will be model. All right, so model, what model will do is model will transform data. Okay, then seeds will load small static data sets. Then snapshots will preserve history. Then macros will help you reuse SQL. Okay, then test, this will validate your data. Okay, so next is analysis. Analysis will store exploratory queries. And then the last one is dbt underscore project dot yml. This will controls the entire project. All right, so this will something we can put everything together. All right, so now when you open any dbt project, it won't look like a random collection of folders anymore. It will actually make sense to you. If you are learning dbt from scratch and want simple practical explanations like this, hit subscribe, because in the next video we will dive into dbt materializations, view, table, incremental and ephemeral, one of the most important concepts for every data engineer.